We're live at summer camp.
Yeah, we're live. I was trying to play the video, but it doesn't want to.
Do you want me to hit it with a hammer?
Do the intro thing. Yeah, hit it with a hammer.
Okay, or a machete.
I guess they want me to like. They want you to like. They want you to like upgrade.
It still should play. It doesn't play. I don't think it's been an upgrade yet.
Let me try.
Good evening. And welcome to the Horror Hangout.
Did I miss the bus? Am I late for camp again? Did I oversleep?
You're gonna have to hitchhike along some very scary roads, Jen.
Woo! I love getting into cars with strangers. Woo!
There's a way you can actually still do it, Sean. if you might have to actually do it within the studio if they're not letting you play it on the whatchamacallit.
Good evening, Strange Monkey.
Okay.
Hey, Strange Monkey. Good evening.
Good evening, sexy bitches.
Woo!
Well, we can do without it, right? You just have to listen to my voice instead.
Your voice is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Hangout live stream. I'm your host this evening, Sean Patrick Erschen, from the Horror Corner. And with us, as always, is the Horror Miser Monty G.
Woohoo!
Evening, folks.
We got Jen's reviews from the grave, flying solo tonight.
I'm solo. Did I miss the bus to camp? Damn it!
Camp Hour Walk.
Yep.
We got also the Summer of Triv in the house.
Woohoo!
All right, which one of you stole my shorts?
I cannot tell a lie. I did it.
Damn it, Monty, we talked about this.
Wait, I missed the penny race too? I missed the penny race, you dadgummit!
Monty, you and your youthful indiscretions will not stand. You're the first one to die.
All right, we've got Strange Monkey in the house. What's going on?
Don't forget our guest.
Yes, of course. And our special guest this month, Horror Fan 88.
Woohoo!
Hello. Thank you for having me again.
Woohoo!
Welcome.
Thanks for coming back again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Your summer tire is
imagine why you
officially
wanted to.
summery.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking all about summertime slashers.
Yeah.
And we only have Triv tonight for like an hour, so I figured we kind of get right into that aspect of it. And I'm going to hit you right off the bat is, what are some underrated summertime slashers for you guys? Monty G.
Woohoo!
Yeah, give me a second here. Underrated summer slashers. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Oh yeah, there is one, and I think everyone might agree with it because this film does not get the love that it has, and that is Hell Night with Linda Blair. I don't know why
Nice.
it does not get the enjoyment because it's a decent, typical summer slasher film. I mean, even though it takes place on Halloween, it came out during the summer, and it's a decent slasher film. But for some reason, it doesn't get the respect that it was as a decent slasher film. Even though it's like I said, Linda Blair actually does a good job in the role as the so-called final girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually like the protagonist in the film. Was it Simon Garth? If I got my, I think it was Simon. I forget what the main villain is, but yeah, Yeah, definitely Hell Night. If you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. It's a decent slasher film.
Hell yeah.
Also a cool cover. Like I remember the VHS because it was always in our thing, and I love the cover of her, holding onto the gate. Ah!
Yeah, it's classic. I love the gothic elements too. It almost at times gives off like a Hammer horror element in there,
Does.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Strange Bucket. There it goes. Yeah, Strange, but you gotta watch
There
Hell
you
Night.
go.
Absolutely.
Good one.
And how about our guest this evening, Horror Fan 88? What's an underrated summer slasher for you?
For me, one that to me was really good, and I honestly don't hear much talked about, would be Just Before Dawn. Yeah, it's unfortunately one of the only slasher movies I don't own, but it was always really good. Some cool kills in it. Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
there you go. But
Okay.
I would definitely recommend that one for a good summertime slasher vibe.
That is a good one.
Absolutely.
Agree. It's got great atmosphere. Some of the shots are really nice cinematography. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
the way it was shot and it's a perfect environment for a summer slasher.
Definitely.
How about you, Triv? Summer of Triv.
My go-to one is one I discovered here a couple of years back, and it's a super low budget movie, but it's called Bloodhook.
Oh.
It takes place in northern Wisconsin, and basically this guy kills people by basically hitting them with a gigantic bobber, and then he grinds them up into fish food, and it is incredibly low budget. It is way too long of a movie, but it's so damn endearing to me. I just love it.
Nice.
Good pick.
They also have a reggae polka theme song about fishing for muskies. So
That sounds like fun.
oh, it is. It is. The cover has nothing to do with the actual movie, but
it just get you to believe that you want to see that in the movie, and it's not in the movie.
absolutely. There's also a gigantic fish in the town that it takes place in that you can look at over all of the background. So it's pretty great.
That is a good one.
Nice. How about you, Jen?
Well, this one, you guys probably are going to say, Jen, it's not talked about for a reason, and I'm going to acknowledge, yeah, it's borderline bad, but it's so fucking endearing, and it's one that time forgot, although we did get a sequel in the 2000s. Don't bother with the sequel, people, but what about, give me an A, give me a B, how about Cheerleader Camp? Yay! Leif Garrett raps, people. Leif Garrett raps in this. Everyone forgets that. That in itself is scary. And while the film is not it kind of takes a while to get going, the ending actually is pretty good. And the kills are pretty fucking good. And you have all these bitches, just, all these catty bitches, and they want to be the head bitch, right? And it's really cool. It's a fun it's fun performances. It's super low budget, but I kind of am endeared with that. Nobody ever brings it up.
Yeah, I thought she starred in that, Betsy Russell. I thought she starred in that.
She did, and she's real pretty. All we get some nice shots of TNA. It's gratuitous TNA, which I'm totally fine with.
I can't imagine why.
I'm surprised it didn't get more sequels back in the day, because all guys like cheerleaders and slashers and all of that. I would think it was a winning combination. You would think. Plus, it also had a very cool cover in itself.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah. Speaking of TNA, there's plenty of gratuitous TNA in my pick, and this is one that gets forgotten. It is part of a major slasher franchise, but no one ever talks about this one, and I just think it's so much fun, and that is Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage.
You almost had it right, Sean. It's Sleepaway Camp 2. It's Sleepaway Camp 2 that's the king of all No, you're almost got it right. You meant 2, right?
No,
he's actually right. 2 gets a lot of praise, but 3 is when the series goes downhill. So it's definitely 3. And we don't want to talk about 4.
Why not? I don't see why you wouldn't want to discuss, the fourth in the series.
We will be talking about it later.
And we're talking about returns as well. Jesus Christ!
Hey, it's like a family. When you marry someone, you marry into their family. So if you're going to enjoy one sleepaway camp, you have to take all the rest that go with it.
I like 2 of the sleepaway camps. I like the first 2.
Well, it's like the drunk cousins at a wedding. There's always a couple.
Yeah, because it's like this. I kind of enjoy Sleepaway Camp 3 mainly because of Pamela Springsteen's performance. That's the only good thing out of that film. But there's only so much of that type of humor you can take and not be effective.
I do like that we carry on the
kills,
kid's dad, the cop comes back. Like we do carry the story from the one guy from the second one. His dad comes to kind of avenge him. That was the cop. Continuity, yay!
Yeah, see, you don't always get that in these sequels,
But Sean, you meant 2. I know you meant 2.
I just enjoyed Pamela even more in the third one, to be honest. That she's just so over the top, and like she doesn't even give a shit anymore whether you're a bad camper or doing bad things. She's just taking you out. If you disagree with her slightly, you're done. I kind of like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
There's some fun kills in that one. I love the soundtrack. Just like many of the same things I enjoyed in part 2, I liked about 3. I still liked in 3. So, but that's just me.
Very cool.
Talk more about that later, probably. But.
Very cool.
But I'm right there with you, Sean. Sleepaway Camp 3 is fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
hell yeah. I'm not alone.
You guys were outvoted this time, I think. Not every sleepaway camp can have fake mustaches, but it can be just have number 3 in the title.
But it doesn't have the song, guys. Oh, I'm a happy camper.
Actually, it does. Actually, it does.
No.
Not as good.
All right. R88, right? Don't they redo that?
Yep.
All right, so next up, folks, what is your favorite summer camp slasher movie, specifically Horror Fan 88?
Oh, it's a good one, but I'm going to have to go with, of course, the original Sleepaway Camp. It was a toss-up between this and The Burning.
Good ones.
Nice.
But yeah, just Sleepaway Camp just has this overall cloud of just unsettling eeriness. I think it does a great job with the whole summer camp aspect.
Yes.
It looks like a fun camp to go to, honestly, besides all the killing.
Well, that's a feature of it. That's you don't have to pay extra for that.
Yeah. But yeah, really cool kills. Absolutely just insane film. Yeah, Sleepaway Camp. I love it.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it last night. But yeah, it's a great movie. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Jen?
I have 2, and I'll talk about the one, and it's Sleepaway Camp 2 is probably for me the quintessential like summertime slasher for me, because you got to think about it. You guys think about the opening. We're literally with campers sitting around a campfire telling the story of the previous one. It has all the hallmarks of a really cool summertime slasher, and I think the kills are really fun, and I like that we have like Renee Estevez as our like lead good girl, and then we have the slut. Don't forget about the fucking slut who wants to just, sleep with everybody. And we also have the shit sisters who get a cool thing. They get barbecued alive, guys. They get barbecued alive. I think the kills are fun. And then, of course, the most iconic scene, guys, we have to talk about the latrine scene, too, where the slut of the camp finally gets her upcomings, and she literally gets shoved down the latrine, and she comes up covered in shit and leeches. If that doesn't make summer camp, I don't know what does.
I remember my time at summer camp being covered in shit and leeches.
I know, right?
Good times.
You know you're doing it right if you are.
Absolutely.
The other one that I really have a big fondness for would be Fear Street 1978. I thought that did a really good job of a good summer camp slasher. I thought it was fun, and I thought it really paid homages, but still managed to give it a breath of fresh air. So those would be my two picks.
That's actually my favorite of the series. Yeah,
it's most people's. A lot of people really love that one. Good kills. Not as good as shit and leeches. Not as good as shit and leeches, but you can't top a classic, guys. And also the song, guys. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a bop, guys.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
So yeah, those are mine.
Great.
Summer Triv.
I am going to agree with Jen. Fear Street 78 is my go-to as well. Just the way that they do it, it really brings you back. There's an authenticity to it that feels like it could have been outside of the way that it looks. You could pluck it and put it down in the 70s and it would fit. Also, just like the random, and I don't think it was on purpose, but like the fact that they had to crawl out of the shit cave to be able to get out felt very much reminiscent of like Goonies. There's all those little things that kind of make you think of other movies of the era.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just the way that they move it along, the way that like things are misinterpreted, the way that they are in a good slasher, all of it works really well for me.
I agree.
Except Drum Smash. All right, Monty G. What's one of your favorite summer camp slasher movies?
I'm gonna go with Jen and Triv. It's Fear Street 78, which I just rewatched and watched the whole trilogy again.
Nice.
After going through that disgusting Fear Street prom queen crap, I had to rewatch the whole trilogy again. But 78, 78, it is the best out of the trilogies. It's just the aesthetic is fine. I love the characters. I love how the killer becomes the killer. It just screams an actual 80s slasher film. It doesn't even try to attempt to copy Friday the 13th film. It's its own film. And if it didn't have the Fear Street onto it, if it was just called Summer of 78, we would still enjoy it because it's a decent slasher film.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Well, mine won't be all that shocking, so it's going to be simply the
Friday
original
13th.
Friday 13th.
Hey, you can't beat the
Not one of the
classics.
sequels. The original.
Not the
1980.
sequel.
John, what
Just
about
want to point that out. I just want to hammer that in. Yeah, I absolutely love the original. I guess I'm one of the few that likes the original the best out of the franchise. But that's just me, of course. I love I think the atmosphere is easily the best in the franchise. Absolutely love the reveal of the killer, of course. I love Betsy Palmer as Pamela Voorhees. I think that's a great character. And I love the kills. The Tom Savini effects are fantastic. And I think it's got some great suspense too. A lot of the lead up to the kills is great. Like, leading up to when the girl gets the axe to the face is very eerie. When you kind of see in the background, Pamela kind of moving the curtain slowly, like she's watching her in the bathroom.
I still think the
really
best
eerie
kill
stuff.
is Kevin Bacon kill.
Yeah, most people would say that.
I mean, how often do you get to have your bacon staked that way, you know?
Nice.
Most of us would love to steak our bacon.
True.
But Sean, what about part 6? Because part 6 is the only one where we actually see actual campers at the camp.
I do love part 6, yeah. That's
Yeah.
certainly one of my favorites.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I'd say it's my number 3 in the series overall.
Very cool.
All right, moving onwards. What is your favorite backwoods hillbilly slasher flick?
Definitely spoiled
Our
for choice.
fan 88. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if this one counts, I'm gonna go with it. That's Hatchet.
Ooh.
It's backwoods. You got Victor Crowley, who I guess is kind of hillbilly. But I remember when this came out, it was so much fun. The kills are absolutely insane. Like that mouth rip is like one of the best kills in a horror movie ever. Great effects. It's just an absolute blast. I love the franchise in general, but I always come back to the first one a lot. And I mean, Kane Hodder killing in an area once again. He's great. So yeah, Hatchet. Cool movie.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Monty G.
For me, I have to go with the original one where you have actual backwater killers, and that's Wrong Turn with Elijah DeCusta. Yeah, definitely have to go with that. Yes, definitely. If you want to get the backwaters in the slasher, you have to go with the original Wrong Turn. I thought it was very good. The kills were fantastic. Those 3 hillbilly guys, they are no joke. I think one of the best kills is when they're in the trees and one of the hillbillies hits her right in the mouth with the shovel. And her face falls.
That is awesome.
The face falls off and the rest of the body falls down. I mean, that's the kill. Yeah, but
that.
definitely the original Wrong Turn.
Great one.
Good choice.
Excellent choice.
Very good.
How about you, Triv?
I have a real affinity for wood chipper kills, and my favorite across the board. It takes all the things that I love best about the genre. There's a little bit of comedy. There's a little bit of bad stuff. You've got a wood chipper. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is just next level for me. It's one of those few movies that is my go-to when I need to feel better and watch someone be absolutely destroyed by a wood chipper.
That scene just popped in my head.
It is just so subversive in what it does, and I appreciate the fact it's one of the few horror movies that, to its credit, has not pursued a sequel until the sequel time was right, and if it is ever. So I really respect them for that, and it is just such a fun movie. The fact that you see like the other side of it, it kind of does what Violent. The one that came out this past year, Violent Nature. Yeah.
Violent Nature.
But it does it with so much more style and grace and, beer. So, hey, it works.
Yeah, you just don't get the yoga kill.
No. If the yoga kill could have been like put into Tucker and Dale, it would have been Oscar winning. But you know what? Getting a nail covered like trapdoor thing to your face is a pretty solid thing too. Plus, did I mention a wood chipper kill?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't get inane hours of just walking and walking and walking like you do.
The problem within the Violent Nature is that third act.
Yeah. Well, then if you wanted walking and walking and walking, you could just watch The Two Towers.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely love Tucker and Dale. It's one of my favorites. When Dale goes up to the college kids with the scythe, he's like, "Hey guys, going camping?" So good.
I must have died laughing after that. What? If I could stop, it's so funny. I can't stop laughing. So I was watching.
Nor should you.
I said, "What's so funny?" I said, "You should see this film. This is funny as hell."
I mean, that's just wood chipper kills. You could have one happen in real life, and you will laugh that same maniacal way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Maybe that's just me. Did I speak out of turn? Ah,
No,
darn
I'm
it.
with you.
No, we all just have morbid sense of humor.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, you know, if you guys want to stop by the theater later, I'm going to be doing a wood chipper kill.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Nice.
You're probably gonna take my advice and throw Dan in the wood chipper.
No, I can't. I couldn't do that. He's like a lovable. He's like my Joker. He's my lovable foe.
Mm.
Very cool.
How about you, Jen?
Oh, I have a few, and the Horror Miser Monty G picked one of them. So since they already said wrong turn, but I've got a couple. Now I'm gonna have to go with a foreign film because I fucking love it. Some of you guys probably already know where I'm going with this one. I have to go with the original Wolf Creek. I mean, if that's not a backwoods horror, I don't know what is. And especially in the first, and I'm talking about the original one because there's such a sinisterness with the thing of Mick Taylor. He can charm you in 1 second and then literally turn your blood to ice. And he's the only rapist that I almost like. Like, I almost like him, and I forget he's a rapist, and I'm like, oh, damn it. But until then, he's so goddamn charming. I'm like, yay, I love you. And I'm like, damn it, you're a rapist. I can't love you. But I just want to give a big old hug to Mick because he's just fucking awesome. I fucking love him. He's just so damn charming.
You might end up with a knife in your back.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth it because I mean, you
Ripping
know,
your
and
spine
I
out
like
and shit.
I like
Hey, it's an extra place to hang your purse if you've got a knife sticking out of you.
I love it. And one thing I really love about the movie is it takes its time. In a weird way, it reminds me of Audition because I know some people have a problem with it, but it takes its time before, and we really get to know these characters and we really get to like them, which makes it all the more horrifying when we get to the second act. I think it's a brilliant movie, and just the performance, oh man, it's so fucking good and brutal as fuck. That movie does not get enough love. Another movie that gets love, it got a remake, and I like the remake, but of course the director who did the remake, it was Alexandre Aja. But I also love Wes Craven's, and that would be The Hills Have Eyes. Oh my god, I love that one. The baby scene, guys, the baby scene. It takes a lot to horrify me. And the first time I was watching that, my mouth was just hanging open, my eyes were bugging out. I was like, Jesus Christ. And if I say Jesus Christ, it's bad. And then the scene with the snake at the end, it just works, and it's very much man versus nature, and you know, like the city dwellers versus the country people. I mean, there's so much you can really, and Aja, like Aja really did a good job too. He even made it a more bloodier in some scenes. The scene where everyone dies pretty much, and you think, is everyone gonna die in this movie? It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a real good job in the remake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I love Aja because he made High Tension, so I love that crazy Frenchman anyway. But I mean, he just went balls to the walls, which the original movie is balls to the walls, and he had to go even extra balls to the walls, and it worked.
Did you like the sequel?
Yes, I did. I like them both. I probably will give it to Wes Craven because I've lived with that longer, but I like them both. I like them both for different reasons. And Aja, I mean, you just can't go wrong with Alexandre Aja. I mean, I love the dude. Another really good, and I promise this will be my last one, at least for my favorites. Deranged, I would consider a backwoods horror too. The story about Ed Gein. Actually, the alternative title is called Confessions of a Necrophiliac, guys, which I wish they would have gone with that title because, I mean, that's a hell of a better title.
It's not marketable.
It would be for me.
You're not gonna get people to buy something because it's a necrophiliac.
Yeah, I know.
It's not marketable.
It's not gonna make $1 billion in the theater.
No,
I
it's all right.
I think there's a market there, guys. I mean, I'm not the only one who loves necromantic. But those are some of my favorites. And Eden Lake. That's another one that I would consider a backwoods horror as well. Eden Lake. And that one's not talked about. That one's another brutal as fuck.
I know. Those kids, ooh, man, you would talk about some badass kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those fucking parents. You just want to go in and just...
I know, right?
Yeah. So those are some of my picks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna say probably a major no-brainer: Texas Chainsaw
Yes.
Massacre.
Chainsaw
the OG
Massacre.
Absolutely.
Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw, 1974, absolute masterpiece. And I know a lot of people don't consider it a slasher, but I feel
It
it is, and I think it is. I think it established a lot of the tropes that we know a slasher movie for being.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
instead of just one lone killer, you got a whole family of maniacs.
Yeah, because I think when that film was created, it was a whole bunch of these violent, extra violent films that came out during the '70s. And when I first heard about it, and then when I saw it, I think they were just simply just trying to top directors. Like he was trying to top Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. And when that came out, you have all these ultra violent horror films that came out during the '70s. Each
Yeah.
one trying to out violence the other.
I always like to think of it as a found footage
Very true.
movie too. It has such a feel of, it feels like you're watching it. Like I know it's not a found footage film, but it really, I think future found footage films really took a page of Texas Chainsaw Massacre too, because it has that vibe to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because
It's just
it's
so
the typical '70s aesthetic,
groundbreaking,
the grainy ground house look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And hot
Right.
take, I like Franklin. I know that's a super hot take, but I like Franklin. Damn it!
Might be on an island on that one.
I know I am.
No, 'cause it's sad that the guy in the wheelchair is one of the most hated characters.
Poor guy, poor Franklin.
Mm,
Doesn't get any love.
no, but then he gets the worst death.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. But man, what a brilliant direction from Toby Hooper! I tell you, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I can never get enough of it.
Most
All
of
right,
the films, there's a
so,
few, but most of the films in that franchise I like. Now do your thing, cuz is an exception to that rule, but I like a lot of the others.
I've always stated, as much as people love the original, I still love the remake. Of the, I actually like that better when it starts Jessica Biel in
Yeah,
that one. I like that better than the original.
that's a hot take, but I can understand.
hmm Yeah, but do your thing, cuz
No, we don't talk about that one. That one didn't happen. Not to mention, there's never been a horror movie with a more fucked timeline. Jesus Christ!
oh man, they can't.
I know,
it's
right?
And then that the Netflix one. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather watch Do You Think Cuz than watch that thing again.
Yep.
What about the Next Generation? Oh,
How about the most recent remake?
That was the Netflix one. That was the
Oh,
Netflix.
was it?
Netflix one, right?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, that was the latest one. You might be confusing that with the one called Letterface.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be the so-called origin of.
Oh yeah,
Letter-
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, the Netflix one's supposed to be a sequel to the original.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Just
supposed to be a
like,
direct sequel to the original film because you actually bring back whatchamacallum's the actual actor, not the actual actress, but
The character.
it's the Sally character from the
Mhm.
original film.
Yeah, that they just threw in a
Yeah.
trash heap, literally.
I know. I said, "Oh man, oh, man, that's a
Might
terrible
as well
job."
That
I
could have been a
actually-
good movie. That could have been a good
Yeah.
movie.
Mhm.
I liked the actress that played her.
Oh yeah, she's a good
They coulda
actress.
did
Yeah.
so much more with her, and they just didn't do anything with it.
Mhm.
All right, so next we have, what is your overall favorite summertime slasher movie? Let's get to it, shall we? Horror Fan 88, our special guest this month.
My overall favorite is the original Friday the 13th. That's my overall favorite because the franchise in general, and it's truly an underrated masterpiece in terms of the franchise. Because as Sean said, most people don't pick the original as their favorite. And granted, I'm the same. Like, I love part 4 and part 6, but part 1 has that unbeatable atmosphere that the other ones don't really seem to have. And it just has a great summertime feel. That ending jump scare is perfection. Yeah, the original Friday the 13th, I think, is my overall favorite.
Good one.
Hell yeah. How about Summer Triv?
Well, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna peace out. I'm kind of double dipping, but I gotta tell you, wood chippers, man, they're functional in so many ways, and they're underrated as a killing device. And the way that it's used in Tucker and Dale, I just adore on so many levels. Like, every kill is funny but absolutely gruesome. It checks all the boxes that I look for in a really good slasher. And I know that comedy and horror is difficult, so the fact that this finds balance with that, and it's my personal favorite way to go about it. Like, if you can't laugh at someone being impaled by a tree branch as you run by, what's the point? So I apologize for double dipping, but it is my absolute favorite summer-based slasher.
No worries. That's your favorite. That's your favorite.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is hard
Awesome.
to balance horror and comedy. And the only 2 films I've seen to do it very well is Shaun of the Dead and Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
I would agree. There's a couple that find pretty good balance, but yeah, those two are ones to aspire to. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And What We Do in the Shadows, I would say, is another one that really good.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, Monty, you need to. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny.
It is fantastic. But on that note, I am going to peace out, gentlemen and ladies. Thank you so much, and we shall see you next month.
Okay.
See you
All right,
next time.
Tiff.
Make sure you
Thanks for
check
hanging
under
with
your
us.
bed and in the latrine.
Yay!
Watch out for the wood chippers.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Trip. I'm not giving back your shorts.
Damn it. Come on. Okay, fine. Keep them. They were my least favorite anyway. Oh, I'll just go in the nude. That's probably easier since I'm in the woods.
Woohoo! Yay! I want a pair of underwear too. Then, if Monty
I'll see. I'll find. I need to find you a cute pair though. So bear with me.
okay,
Bye all.
All right, Trip.
Have a great night. Hello, Rob. Welcome.
What's up, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Rob's Nightmares.
Rob's Nightmares.
How about you, Jen? What's your overall favorite summertime slasher film?
I'm gonna have to kind of double dip too. I think it is Sleepaway Camp 2. I know I'm a basic bitch, but there's just it just has a vibe to it, and I wasn't kidding when I said I love how we start out with them all around the campfire telling the story from the previous movie. I thought that was really fun. I like the kills in it. There's something about it, and even though they're all too old to be teenagers, I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna give it a little license. It's just fun, and it's the one I always think of for summertime. There's some really good ones. I also like Friday the 13th Part 6 because we do actually have kids there too, but I'm gonna say Sleepaway Camp 2.
Great pick.
Thank you.
No love for Friday the 13th Part 7 with the best kill with the sleeping bag.
It's a good one. It's my favorite. It's my favorite one. If we're just talking about Friday the 13th movies in general, it's my all-time favorite.
Man, I cannot get enough of that sleeping bag. It just cracks me up. I can't help it.
And he had so
I feel like when it
trouble because he generally pissed. He was super pissed. So like that Kane Hodder was really pissed because it was a lot heavier and they were having trouble with the whole thing.
I think the problem with 7 for me is the MPAA literally slashed it, because a lot of the kills happen off screen, or they cut the blood out. There's very little blood in it. I think in a Friday 13th movie, you want to see the blood.
But the axe scene to the head is a really good one that people forget about. With Melissa, with the axe scene to the head, that's a pretty cool one. And her thrown across the room, that was cool.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, because everyone wanted to see her get it.
Yeah, the actress did an incredible job.
Everybody hated her. You couldn't wait for her to get it.
Melissa the bitch.
How about you, Monty G?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Horror Fan 88. It has to be the original Friday the 13th. It's like this: when I first went to see Friday the 13th in the theaters, one of the good lucky advantages of being born one of the last of the baby boomers, you get to see some of the horror films that came out early in the 70s and the 80s. When I first saw Friday the 13th, no one knew about this movie. I just happened to saw some pictures in Fangoria magazine. I said, "Ooh, wow, this is going to be decent." So I took my cousin to go see it, and I didn't tell him what's going to happen, especially at the end of the film. So when that jump scene happened, it freaked him the hell out. But the typical summer slasher film takes place at a summer camp. You got the locals, you got Crazy Ralph. Do your do. You have the people telling them you tell them don't get away quick. You got some decent kills. So if you want to see the best summer slasher film at a summer camp, it's the original Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't ya?
Never come back again.
Nice. I love it. What about that stupid cop dude on the bike with the glasses? We ain't gonna stand for no weird stuff out here. You know what I'm talking about? Hash, grass, the weed. I told you to sit on it, Tonto.
But we don't have a pedo chef like in Sleepaway Camp. That is the one detraction. We don't have a pedo chef.
Well, yeah, I hate to be a basic bitch, but I have to reiterate the fact. Friday 13th, yes. Wow, I'm shocked here. We got 3 of them.
Yeah, because when you look overall, when you look at how the slasher craze started, it really wasn't Halloween that started it all. Halloween was a great film. It got a lot of praise for being something that we never saw before, but the slasher craze started was because of Friday the 13th, because that's what actually started it all. Next thing you know, we got inundated with slasher films.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah,
I agree. And
I think you have to go. I was just gonna say, I think Friday 13th owes more to probably Bay of Blood than it does Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I would definitely agree with you, Monty, because even though Halloween is my favorite horror movie, when a lot of people say it was the start of the slasher, every slasher in the 80s was almost imitating Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Yeah, because when you take a look at when Halloween came out in 79. It came out in 78. Came out in 78, and it got a lot of praise for doing something like that. But you really didn't see any films copying John Carpenter's style, not until Friday the 13th came out. Probably because they realized that movie studios finally realized, we can make these because they're cheap to make. They don't cost that much money. You don't have to hire. any expensive actors
Yeah.
at all. You know, you can make a lot of money, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Jen froze again.
But there's another one. There's a duplicate Jen. All right, let me take this other Jen then.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about this. Double dinger.
I'm removing the frozen Jen.
I can
She's
understand.
frozen on ice.
I get you. I'm sorry, I missed the question because I was having technical difficulties.
Oh no, I was talking about
Oh
Friday
no,
the
Monty
13th.
was just,
Oh, okay.
And,
Sorry, I heard that part. I didn't know if I had to step in and step out. Internet sucks tonight.
Is
Hey,
it
I mean,
storming there in New Mexico? Because Kelly said she heard about. Kelly said it was storming there.
Yeah, it is, and that doesn't ever help. And I live out in the country, so that doesn't help.
boy, wouldn't that be some next level shit if Frozen Jen popped up in here too and started talking like, what the hell?
Oh, no one wants two Jens. Nobody wants two Jens.
Marty might like two Jens.
No, I'm pretty sure he'd be like, no, Sean, no.
No, Sean, no. One gin is enough. I don't need two. What are you trying to do, me, Sean?
Are you fucking mad, Sean?
Speaking of Irish, did you see
What the
Lisa?
fuck?
You see Lisa Love's video when she did a Jurassic World Rebirth, and she had her husband and son in the car. He had me cracking up. I thought he had to let Isaac do more videos because he is cracking me up.
A cute kid.
No.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, guys. So next up, I wanted to get your thoughts on a movie that's coming out in a couple weeks now, and it is a summer slasher. I'm talking about the new I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
How about you, horror fanny? What are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to it? What?
His reaction tells me everything.
Uh-huh.
I have an excitement for it, but I feel like because we're in a period now where they keep doing this requel thing, and it just seems like the same story over and over that they keep doing, it's just going to become like completely bland and just like, I've already seen this. This looks kind of like Scream 5 if you want to get serious. Like, but I just hope it's good because really the franchise in general, I only love the first one. Like the second one's it's okay. The third one is a big pile of fucking horse ass shit. I hate it. Oh,
Did you see the TV version of I Know What You Did Last Summer? I think it was either
TV
Amazon.
series, yeah.
Yeah, the TV series. I think it was Amazon that did the TV series. Did you see that one?
I didn't even see that. I didn't know about it till it had already got canceled. And I was like, there was a TV show.
Yeah.
Didn't last
That's
too
when
long.
most people thought of
It was okay. It was nice seeing something a little different when it comes to that franchise. Even though the concept is still the same, as far as the premise is concerned, it's a whole different plot. When it comes to the TV show, I Know What You Did Last Summer. And so I'll give them credit for at least trying to do something different. The characters, they're okay. The conclusion, as far as who actually the killer is, if you actually watch the show, will surprise you because you didn't think that person was capable of doing the stuff that they do in the show based upon the size of the person. But the motivations make sense.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I would say this movie definitely has my attention, and I just hope it can make me go, damn, I was wrong. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. I
How
hope
about
it's
you,
good.
Monty?
It's kind of the same. I'm hoping that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. do not dominate the movie. you want to focus on the new characters, and let's just hope that the new characters are interesting enough. Just like the core four became interesting enough after Scream 5, they actually became interesting. Scream 6. That's why I like Scream 6 better than Scream 5. It was getting enough with the Holy Trinity of Gail, Dewey, and Sydney. We need some fresh blood. And even though I didn't like the conclusion of 5, I did like the core 4. So I'm hoping that in this one, it's nice seeing Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. back in the show, but they should not dominate this film. There should be just a new cast. But we will see. We will see. You can try to retread something like they always do, just like with Jurassic World Rebirth. Here, also hopefully that the characters are interesting, the script is tight, and you're not dominating the old school cast.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Really?
That was a good one, Simbo.
I like that.
Wasn't that a movie like Shriek? If you know what I did last
Yeah,
summer?
Shriek. If you know what I did last summer.
Saturday the 14th or something.
14th.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. How about you, Jen? I know you're not a massive fan of the series. But
I'm not, like, you know me. It's fine. Like, they're fine movies. No hate. And I know there's a lot of people that they grew up and they have a nostalgia for them. Not so much me, but more I'm with everybody else. I have a lot of trepidation. I hope I'm proved wrong, but we've had a few movies recently like Scream and Strangers. I hope it's better than the Strangers one is, if it can beat that, which isn't a very high bar, but if it can go past that, we're already to something good. But I kind of have a feeling we're just gonna get the same old. I kind of have a bad feeling. Could be wrong. Hope I am, but I'll check it out, but I'm very half-hearted about it. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it to begin with. Like I kind of, when I was one of those edgelords, like, me, I like my extreme stuff. And when that came out, I was like, what is this PG-13 bullshit? When I was a teenager, I was one of those edgelords. I was like, fuck, you guys, cool. You guys go see that. I'm gonna go watch Faces of Death again. Bye.
And I just know they're going to do it, because every time one of these horror franchises gets one of these requel treatments, it's always announced, we're doing a trilogy. Halloween Strangers. It's gonna happen.
I know people need to stop that. Just focus on one movie, damn it.
I know that. Enough with the goddamn work doing the trilogy. Why don't you wait until after the box office comes up, and then see how well the film does? Then you can announce, okay, we're doing the trilogy.
Right.
No, sorry, no Jack Black in this one.
Oh God.
No, that was that really kind of took me out of the sequel. Watching Jack Black with that stupid whatchamacallit and trying to talk with a Jamaican accent.
The dreads.
Yeah.
Bring back Brandy. Oh no, I don't think no one wants Brandy back. Did you see the front room?
I still haven't. I know she did it. I have not. Is it worth seeing, Monty?
That's about as well as I can describe the front room. I mean, put it this way, she's okay. And the actress that plays her mother-in-law, she actually dominates the film, but it's just boring. I mean, nothing happens at all. And I guess for some reason that's why it got tagged as a horror film for some odd reason, just to get horror people to go see it. But when you watch the film, you're waiting for something horror to happen. And other than her mother-in-law's dreadful treatment and her racist, some of the racist stuff that she says to Brandy, nothing really happens.
Yeah. I think I'll take it off my watch list. Too little time now.
I don't know because it's unfortunately it's not a horror film.
I've heard other people say that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like Horror Fan 88 said, I feel a lot like him. I'm optimistic though. I'm hoping it's good because I did love the original. I didn't really like any of the others, same as Horror Fan 88 said. But I really enjoyed the original film. While a lot of people said it was like just a knockoff of Scream or whatever, I didn't feel that way. I felt like it was a straight up slasher movie, old school, like the 80s.
It was a scream. It was a
It
scream.
wasn't trying to be like Scream. It wasn't trying to be, yeah. It wasn't trying to be meta. It wasn't poking fun at the genre. It was more of a straight up slasher, and I like that,
Mm-hmm.
And I like the setup. It just reminded me of the old school, 80s flicks,
Yeah.
Now, when I saw the first trailer, I was like, ooh, this really looks cool. But then the second one's got me a little bit worried because it almost seems like the same setup. I'm like, come on, please don't do the same exact thing.
What are the chances, Sean? What are the chances?
Well, Vim was right.
Exactly.
You got some. You got some very.
Do we not have a
people.
Die Hard 2 of the slasher genre?
Yeah, you're right about that. You definitely got the most attractive cast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's that.
Yeah,
so was that.
if it is the exact same setup as the original, if I was like Jennifer Love Hewitt, I'd be like, "You stupid motherfucker, don't need no license. What the hell's wrong with you?" Just,
Hey, Pat.
What's up, Pat?
If it is the same exact setup, hopefully we can at least get some decent kills.
yeah.
And it did
Yeah.
show quite a bit of blood in the trailer, so I think it's going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I hope
And of
that's
course-
not all the
And Jen, the original was R-rated, okay? It was not PG-13.
I know it wasn't, but again, my edgelord ass when I was a teenager, I was like, no, guys, you guys can go see
She
that.
asked you what rather watch people get eaten by alligators jumping out of a parachute.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah, and I know they're probably going to do some fan service because I even saw it in the trailer with Jennifer Love Hewitt going, "What are you waiting for, huh?" And I'm like, "Here we go. It's going to be old lines back."
Yeah.
I don't mind fan service if it's done well. It's just
Yeah, it has to be
it's
done
not.
well, yes. Because even though I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably didn't like that line in Alien Romulus, I actually thought it fit well in the scene. Even though a lot of people probably didn't like that line that the whatchamacallit said in Alien Romulus, but I actually thought it was funny.
Yeah.
What's up? We got Lord Hellhound in the chat.
What's up?
Horror and metal. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get into now. I'm very curious. What are you guys' thoughts on the Jason universe so far? Monty G. Well said. Well said.
That's all you need to say.
I don't know what's funny. I don't know what's funny is that or the so-called dark universe.
Oh God, don't bring that up, Monty.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
bring that up.
So-called reboot.
I really
of
don't
the
know
Universal
what to
Monsters
say. I really don't know what to say about that. And I don't blame the Marvel Cinematic Universe for what they've done, because when you have created a universe that Kevin Feige has done and Disney has done when it comes to the MCU and the type of money that they made, is no wonder that filmmakers and movie studios want to create their own universe, whether it's the Twisted Childhood universe or the TCU or with Superman and James
Mhm.
Gunn's DCU, and now you're trying to get horrors with their own in universe. It's like this. I know it's going to happen because that's what Hollywood wants to do. But unfortunately, I don't. How are you going to create a Jason universe?
That's a good question. That's a damn good question.
Who's going to be in it?
It's too
I
much
mean,
of a
why?
small scale story to.
I mean, it's like this. I'd rather just see the Crystal Lake show
Mhm.
and just actually take a look
Yes.
at Pamela Voorhees, and
Mhm.
maybe we finally get to see Jason's father, because we never know
Mhm.
what. I'd rather see that as a complex story. I don't need a Jason universe at all, because that show right there, when I actually showed Jason as a kid, was he actually deformed? Was he actually hidden? How was he grown? Was he ever this psychotic as he was a little kid? That's something we never have explored when it comes to Jason's backstory.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot.
would just prefer to just stick that we don't need a goddamn Jason universe.
Yeah. Amen.
How about you, horror fan? What are your thoughts on the Jason universe?
See better what I did.
That's great.
I am just truly shocked that we are on such a close track to being almost 20 years since the last Friday the 13th movie. And the fact that this
Wow.
is what we're getting is, I have been, unfortunately, as grateful as I am to still have Jason. The way they're going about all this has just been, I don't know. Like they released the design of him, and I'm just like, okay, why are his eyes square? Like, what the hell is that? Like the fact that, I heard recently, oh, they're filming something. I was like, yes, finally. Then it turns out, oh, it's just a damn drink commercial. I was like, what? What? Man, just everything I've seen so far has me like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. Like, God,
My pretty little pet.
you take the pretty little pet and
Oh, he killed
yeah. I hope they can do something with it, but just the way it's going so far, I'm not a fan, man.
it.
Not a fan.
I don't think anyone is.
I can tell Jen's not.
Oh God. Okay, so my thoughts on this. I'm not fucking acknowledging it. You know what? Thank God we've got Womp Stomp Films, and there's gonna be a new Never Hike Alone movie coming out next year, guys. The trailer looks fucking awesome, by the way. That's where I'm putting my faith in, is they should let those guys take over the franchise, because man, they blow it out of the water. They care about the fans. This one is just a big cash grab. It's gonna be the fucking Dark Universe all over again, and like the show might be good, like the actual show. I mean, like Monty, I'm interested in that, but other than that, give it to the Womp Stomp people. That's what I've got to say. Let's just put our faith in there and let those guys have it, because they know what they're doing. They're fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I
they should
agree.
have. Yeah.
I want it to be good. I don't want another Chris Farley joke. I don't want to look at this Jason universe and be like in Black Sheep, where he goes, what in the hell was that all about?
Exactly. And that's where we're headed. That is where we all know it.
Yeah.
You just know all they care about is the money. They know that the franchise is so marketable, the character is so marketable. It's just a license to print money, and that's all they care about. That's what it seems like anyway.
I mean, take a look. As bad as the last two Jurassic World movies were, it's still both made over $1 billion. And now even this, that's sad. And those, and even with Jurassic World Rebirth, even though that movie is actually better than the last two, it still killed at the box office.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, movie studios, they're as much as some of the crap I hear from other YouTubers when it comes to IPs and how we don't have any original films, and I can understand their frustrations. But but unfortunately, until we actually see a peripheral of actual original films like Sinners and
Yes.
F1, until we see more films like that, Hollywoods are not going to take a chance and creating something original. They're just going to stick with what's been working. That's great. That's why we're getting another Toy Story.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one coming.
There's another Toy Story. It's a Toy Story 5. It's like, wait a minute, guys. It's like the kid's grown. The kid's grown. I think he grew up in Toy Story 4. We don't need another goddamn Toy Story 5. It's like, what more are you going to do between Buzz Lightyear and Tom Hanks' character? You actually tried the Buzz Lightyear real story within the Toy Story universe, and you see that failed.
Mhm. This,
And how long can you hear their voices? Aren't they going to start to sound really old because they're getting really old now? They're going to sound like
Because I mean, put it this way, I mean, I don't know how you're going to make
to infinity and all my back hurts.
I don't know how you can get Tom Hanks and Tim Allen to make those voices sound like they're still young when they're almost in their
Does it sound like
70s.
little kids or whatever? Like cartoon voices, and they're like old as shit.
Oh man, it's like because when I heard there was a Toy Story 5, I was like, "What the hell? Come on, guys! What more can you do with these characters? First of all, the kid's grown now. I think he went off to college.
I think the kid's dead, Monty. I think he's
I know it was their most successful IP when it first came out, but it's like enough with this. Come up with something original. but that's the problem.
Yeah.
They're too afraid to come up with something original, but they know it's not going to sell. They just don't have any faith in something original anymore because anytime when they do, it doesn't generate the type of money that they want.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all
I
about the
just
money.
don't know how there's gonna be a Jason universe. How's there gonna be enough story there to build a universe? Like, I don't get it. Like, were you just gonna have one of Jason's victims go off and have a spin-off movie or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to do something like they did with the Wolf Creek TV show. After Mick killed her family, she
Yeah.
goes off to try to find him, and maybe that's the whole purpose. I don't know. It has to. If you're going to do a TV show, it has to be something that is going to keep the audience entertained and glued to the TV every week. And horror shows, depending on what type of horror show, the reason why American Horror Story is so successful is because it's an anthology show, and mostly all the episodes or all the stories are pretty good.
Mhm.
And each season, it's a whole different.
Yeah, and each season
story,
is a whole different.
It's not
It's a whole
the
different
same
story.
story
Not
continuing.
the same story. Yeah.
It's just a whole new.
The only one I can think of, the horror show that isn't an anthology that has kept me riveted from the beginning to end, is Interview with a Vampire. Now that show is fucking fantastic, and they're respectful enough to the actual material, but they change stuff and make it fresh. And that's the tricky part, is to be respectful but still bring in some fresh blood, and that's a really hard trick to pull. Like I said, the only show I've ever seen done is I know you guys are sick and tired of me talking about it, but goddamn, it's a good show, guys. Fucking Interview with a Vampire is so awesome.
I mean, as much as I know people love Dexter,
Mhm.
it's like I understand the reason why they brought him back because of how they unfortunately ended the original run of Dexter with that stupid hurricane. So you
Yeah.
bring Dexter back, and then you finally kill him off, and then you bring back his that original sin when he was younger, but then now you bring it back again at Dexter Resurrection. It's like, what are you guys doing? But I know people love it because people love Dexter.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you because fun fact, Dexter is my favorite show. So, but I totally get where you're coming from because it's like they keep messing up the ending, and then when fans are like, "What the hell?" Then like, "Oh, he didn't die. We're doing another one," and then they're gonna mess it up again, and then have to go over it again.
Well, I'm hoping for the Crystal Lake series. I'm hoping it's kind of something like they did with the Bates Motel series, which I thought was really good. Getting into the mother and son dynamic there, that could be something really interesting there, you know.
Incest?
And
What?
I don't know about that, but
I was waiting for
maybe
you to
with the
say that.
Psycho
Jeff.
franchise, but not there could be, you know, abuse there, you know, who knows. I'm sure there has to be something sinister going on, but yeah, like Monty said, maybe hopefully they'll introduce the father character, you know.
Yeah, because like I
could be
said before,
interesting
that's
too.
one of
There's a lot you can do with it, you know.
Well, there's a lot you can do with the Crystal Lake because we don't know that much about Jason's childhood. You know, was he just an average kid?
Right.
You know, was he deformed when he was born, or did he become deformed later on in life? And as he got older, you know, what was Jason's father like?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's another aspect. You know, what happens after Jason dies? You know, how did he die? What caused Pamela Boyce to all of a sudden go crazy? You know, there's a lot of ways you can manipulate, you know, in that story for several seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the grief in itself. Just the grief in itself. Sorry.
Maybe an interesting direction they could have gone is if they wanted to try and give it a little bit more something, they could have it where Mrs. Voorhees is actually a terrible mother to Jason. So when he's drowning, he escapes, but he runs from her and she thinks he's died, causing him to grow on his own. But she's also crazy. So I don't know. But because they never really explored that. But you know, Jason has this weird obsession with his mother. But I just hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah, that's we all do.
I mean, we think she's crazy because of what happened, you know. Who knows? It could be more to that, you know. She could be off balance to begin with, you know.
Yeah.
But we shall see. That is the one thing I'm interested in. I am interested in that show, so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I was very happy with Linda Cardellini being cast. She's a great actress. I think she's going to do an excellent job.
Yeah, they had I saw a still of her on Bloody Disgusting when they were filming the film, and I said, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
I think a lot of people can.
Yeah. So, last topic of the evening, let's delve into the Sleepaway Camp franchise, shall we? Starting with the original classic from 1983. Yes. Jen, I know you really enjoy the franchise. What are your thoughts on the original Sleepaway Camp from 1983?
The original Sleepaway Camp is and it's not intentional. I mean, they stumbled in it. They just accidentally stumbled into something kind of brilliant. We have a lot of interesting things going on. This is a movie that, they were just doing it probably to titillate, but this is one of the first horror movies that I remember seeing that addressed homosexual relationship in a pretty blatant way. We also have a pedo chef, guys. I mean, and that's just wrong. We need to talk about that pedo chef. And I love how everyone's just standing there laughing like they're too young to know what you're thinking of. Jesus Christ, guys. I'm not a sensitive little snowflake, but even me, I'm like, call somebody, call the fucking authorities. Fucking pedophilia is never charming.
Oh, man.
But it's very cathartic too, because he does get his ends, and it's very cathartic. And we also have, there's some really good kills, and then that ending is very iconic. And one of the things I really like about this movie is it does have sympathy for Angela. We're not thinking she's the bad one. She's one of the few nice people in this movie, besides her cousin and the one counselor. There's all these people are shit. All these people are fucking shit in this. Fucking Meg. I hope what I like to think happened to Meg is that she did get that curling iron inserted up to her vaginal area while it was on. That's what I hope happened to Meg. I really do. It never shows that, but you hear the sizzling sound, right, guys? It's just a fucking fantastic film, and that ending was very shocking. And then I wish they would have explored it a little bit more with, was it her choice to be that way, to be a boy and go as a girl? I wish we would have delved that more in, but that's not what they were going for. But it's a fucking masterpiece. I fucking love it. And I think it's more than what a lot of people say, that it's just that ending that is memorable. There's a lot of things about this movie that's memorable, guys.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. How about you, a horror fan 88? What are your thoughts on the original Sleepaway Camp?
I would definitely agree. It is a masterpiece, and just like I said earlier, it just has this overwhelming, uncomfortable feeling to it, with the chef. And what's so cool is that there's some odd acting in here too, with like the old guy Mel, when he's just like, I had him, I let him go. But yeah, it is truly an unnerving film. I mean, to watch that pedo chef get boiled alive and just like, it's odd that he was one of the only people that didn't die, because he's still alive when he's rolled out. But yeah, I just love Sleepaway Camp. I think as far as the 80s summer camp slashers, it stands out the most from the pack.
I would agree.
Yeah. How about you, Horror Miser Monty G?
Yes. I mean, sitting in the movie theater and then watching this particular film, everyone is just thinking, oh no, here we go. We got another Friday the 13th copycat. And then we get that ending. The whole audience is in shock when that appears up, and then we see Angela growling away. And we get the final reveal, and the whole audience just like this, completely like, what the hell? What the hell?
Well, we only need one boy.
I know. Yeah. We only need one boy, so you're gonna be a girl. I was like, oh God, what yeah, that was totally shocking. I mean, if you want to see a slasher film shock a whole audience in the theater, that's what that film did. And that's the whole thing why people always will gravitate to Sleepaway Camp when it comes to slasher films, because that's the first film that dared to do something a little different than we've seen in other slasher films. Little slasher film craves, and I give Felicity Rose credit, in playing that particular role, because Angela, she's nice, she's girly, you never suspect that she's the killer, and so you got to give the writers credit for what they did, But seeing in that theater and watching that reaction, that's one of probably the third best reactions I see in a theater, other than The Exorcist and the ending of Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the girl driving the boat, I think that's the worst acting. The people! Oh my God! Oh my God! I've seen that. Like, shut up!
There's a boat!
Acting, please!
Please help the people!
Help the people, please!
Oh my God!
As
what I find interesting is that I'm pretty sure there's simply no way in the world they could try a movie like that today, as opposed to back then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
yeah, so like you guys all say, it definitely has some disturbing and some dark stuff and some unsettling elements to it. Or I think it's a lot of fun too. There's a lot of goofy stuff and there's some really campy, over the top acting. There's times when I laugh my ass off, especially like Hellhound saying there in the comments, Aunt Martha makes me laugh my ass off. Wasn't that nice of me?
I believe it
She
means
puts a string
angel.
on her
Well, my
finger
mother
to
too
remember
does.
what she...
Yeah.
And she says, even though I am a doctor, like you would never in your wildest dreams think that she's a doctor. Like,
He's a podiatrist.
I guess that's the biggest mystery of the movie is what the hell was she on?
But it kind of, again, it's kind of genius because I always took it that this family probably, there's a lot of mental illness. In a way, it's actually really smart because, there's a lot of unsettling stuff in this film. And so, of course, that's going to happen. Mental illness, when you have one, there's usually more if it's like heart disease or anything else. So it's actually kind of smart. Like, it's over the top, but I get what they were doing.
Yeah.
the style of the movie, like the way people dress is hilarious too. Like you see the big jacked up dude in the tiny little shorts and the dudes with the half
those
shirts
shorts. Those shorts, it's like, oh,
the
come on,
A's
guys.
headbands and the
Eat shit and die. Eat shit and live. That's a great comeback.
It's like even basketball shorts weren't that short back in the day.
Fashion.
What about the guy who runs the camp and his little relationship with Meg going on there? What the hell is that?
Oh, Jesus.
She gets all excited. I got a hot date tonight. With the old man, he's like freaking 70.
It's like her grandfather. I mean, she's probably legal, although this movie doesn't seem to mind the age differences next to her chef. But Jesus,
And nobody
Christ.
says anything. Nobody says this is weird. What's wrong with you? It's just like normal.
And the phallic cigar, I mean, there's just a lot of things that just kind of make you go up your eyebrow.
Just like you were saying with the pedophile guy, nobody like says anything. Like, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with you?
I always
Nobody
thought he
cares.
had a little devil in him. Jesus Christ, please, somebody call the authorities. Jesus Christ.
I will say, Judy is an awesome villain though. Like she's a bitch from hell.
Yeah. And a slut. Like she's the camp slut.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can't forget the most iconic thing, the electrical tape mustache from the cop.
Oh God, yeah.
It looked like
That's
two
like
pieces
when
of
that's a
electrical
really
tape.
bad time to have HD, resolution on a movie. Like,
They sort of pay
big
homage to
close-up
that
of
when
it.
we go to Returns. That's kind of, they do sort of do a nod to that in Returns. Yikes.
It's hilarious. It's like it's like a fake mustache he bought at like the dollar store or something. Like or at a Cracker Jack box or something.
I think I saw what had happened was they thought they'd done with his scenes and they needed him to come back for that scene or do a rewrite, and he was doing another movie where he had to shave it off, so that's why they had to give him. I think that's what happened, and they didn't have time to let it grow. I guess.
Damn, dude. That was the best they could do.
Yeah. It's like they couldn't have just gone the realistic direction of, oh, he's shaved. It's been a few days, or it's just a different guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Because that's what the audience is worried about. Is that the same cop?
No.
Although, in fairness, there are some fans who would probably be like pissed about that too. So, never mind about this.
Oh man. So much fun. I think it's so much fun at the same time. It does have some deep undertones, you know.
It really
I love
does.
some of the flashback scenes they showed too, like, you know, towards the end before the reveal, how it shows, you know, her father in bed with the dude, and you're getting these weird vibes with the kids and they're spinning around the bed, and the boy and the girl together and the bed spinning around. You're like, what's this about? You know, what's that?
It's morphing. I always took it as it was morphing, kind of like what Angela had to do. She's morphing into both. Again, kind of smart for what this, and it wasn't intentional at all, but goddamn, what a great accident.
It'd be interesting to see what they would do with a remake, you know, in today's climate where.
Yeah, that
What
would
do you
be
think
something.
about
Yeah, it's going to be something they actually do. I'm pretty sure they always wanted to attempt to remake this movie, but for some reason, it never happened yet.
Yeah. It'd be impossible to capture that charm, really, but I don't know. Be interesting to see what they could do with it.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but I'd be scared to see what they would do with it at the same time.
Mm.
I'd be a little, no,
It could be
that's
scary
okay.
too, in the wrong hands, you know. Like, true. Could be someone that just doesn't get it, that gets the reins.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Did Ricky kill Judy? Because you know how before her kill scene, the door opens up and you kind of see I don't know if she's supposed to be in the background and supposed to be in the dark, but you can see clear as day that's Ricky in the long hair. Do you think
they
that
wanted
was
to
meant
subvert
happen
the
that way, or
expectations
do you
of
think
the
it was
audience.
meant to be like Angela, like
Yeah, because we all assumed
Leave it
that
up
was
to
Angela, but
your
it could have been
imagination.
Ricky. It could have been Ricky, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's fun to think about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I could
me-
see it being him because he had issue with Judy, you know, the way she kind of cast him off, wherein previously they had a relationship when they were in camp the previous year, but this time she's just kind of, you know, tossing him to the side. He could be out for revenge, you know, and the way she's picking on Angela, of course. You know.
Yeah.
Me personally, I actually do kind of like to think that could have been him because, you know, obviously he protects Angela. Like Ricky's a badass cousin. Like he protects her. And two, you know, the scene where Judy and Meg throw Angela in the river and he gets her and he's just like, "Don't worry, we'll get them." Like he could have had a little something wrong with him too. And
Yeah.
But I like to think maybe if that wasn't intentional, that could have gone that direction. But yeah.
And that's a good point to bring
Mel
up. That
thought it
there
was
could be
him the
something
whole
wrong
time.
with him, just like the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Right. It could have been just a screw up, though, you know, like they screwed up with the guy with the mustache, you know, Like maybe it was supposed to be her, and they just showed a little bit too much light there. I don't know. What do you think, Monty?
I don't know. It's kind of a wishful thinking kind of thing for me.
All right, now I think Jen's gonna be happy to discuss this next one. Sleepaway Camp 2: Unhappy Campers. And that is not Pamela Springsteen on the cover.
No,
It's not her.
What was up with that? Why didn't they use her instead of like what is random model? You know,
I think they were trying to, because you see Freddy's glove, you see Jason's mask, you see this kind of attractive girl. This is a nice way to get people to actually want to pick the movie out.
an attention getter.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it wasn't
was-
the only cover to do that. Like you'll see covers where like there'll be some Slumber Party Massacre 2. There's a couple of actresses on the cover that weren't in the movie
They're
too.
not in the movie. No, just very attractive
That's not
women.
her either.
That's not her neither. Nope.
For me, Sleepaway Camp 2 is a lot of fun, and I will give that to Pamela Springsteen because I love Felicia Rose like everyone else does, but she does bring an interesting energy into this, and it's kind of a different Angela. Well, it literally is a different Angela, but like also it makes sense that it's a different actress in a way because she's just accepted who she is. She likes herself, and she's had a lot of therapy. She's all right, guys, because doctors and clergymen gave her the okay to work with kids. It's a great idea. What could possibly go wrong? And I like that. And also, if your guys are, I'm sure you all know this, but yes, that is Bruce Springsteen's little sister. I think they're
Yep.
half, but there's a relation
right.
there. And that's kind of cool too. And this is just a really fun one. And now my thing is you could have delved a little bit more into Angela's psyche, but that's not what this movie is. This is just a straight up fun summer camp slasher in the best way possible, taking all the cool things from previous movies and just running with it. And everything about this film, and like I talked about earlier, my favorite kill in this is definitely the latrine scene. Oh my fucking God. I love it. And we have the biggest slut that's ever been in one of these movies. Oh my God, what a whore.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
And then you have the shit sisters, you have the tattletale. I mean, you have all these stereotypes. And then you have Rob, and I'm like, and he's like, and I love it when they're doing the battery from my car. And everyone just kind of looks at each other. It's just a lot of fun. And I also like that Rob tries to kind of hit on Angela and like absolutely no attraction on Angela's part.
Yeah.
And he does it's just cute. It's just a cute movie. It's not, you can't take it too seriously, but it's fun. And then you have the uncomfortableness of the whole, lesbian thing, because Angela's very attracted to Renee Estevez,
Mhm.
There's kind of that underline there, which is kind of cool and uncomfortable. And yeah, I also like the
Yeah.
cop's son. I like the bad boy cop's son in this as well. So, yeah, I just love this movie. It's my favorite.
It's a great one.
It is. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
How about you, Harv?
I've been waiting.
Fanny? What are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 2?
I've been waiting for this exact moment to finally gush over this motherfucking movie. This is
Go for it.
this-
Let it loose.
this
Let
is
it loose, man.
this is one of my favorite slasher movies ever. It is such a blast. It's cool because the contrast. There's like two types of 80s slashers. You got the dark, serious stuff at the beginning, and the more
Mhm.
fun, out there stuff towards the end.
Mhm.
And God, just the kills are fun. I love the soundtrack. Like it's got
Yes.
a great soundtrack. It's gonna be good when
I
it just
love
opens
it,
up. Boom. And Pamela Springsteen is just awesome as Angela. Oh, I'm a happy camper.
I love the summer sun. I love the trees and forest. I'm
Love
all
the trees and
looking
forest.
fun.
Hello is having fun.
And the panty raid, guys, the panty raid. I love the panty raid.
The panty raid.
Or, as the shit sisters would say, "Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love to drink and fuck, and if you pay me money on my titties, you can suck." What the hell was that? that killed me. Yeah. A lot of fun characters. I thought the one that was trying to hit on Angela all the time. When I first saw that, I was like, "Is that Joey from Full House?" It kind of looked like him.
It kind of looks like him, yeah. The mullet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got some good horror, some fun comedy aspects to it. Great soundtrack. It's just an absolute blast of a movie.
For sure. Uh-oh, we lost Jen.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. How about you, Horror Miser Monty G? What are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy
Yeah,
Camper?
this has the best of both, because at this time the slasher genre was in full gear. Freddy had just came out. You had, I think, Friday the 13th was up to either part 3 at the time when this came out. I forget when. So this has all the fun. You have you got some nice, decent kills. You have Pamela Springsteen is wonderful as Angela. Some real campy stuff. Very typical slasher film. Everyone was not expecting to see a sequel at this particular time, but that's when we started seeing more sequels of more slasher films. So yeah, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It had some nice comedy bits into it. Like I said before, everyone loved Pamela Springsteen. She does a fine job as Angela.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a different take on the character, and I think she just does such a great job with it. She makes it her own,
Yeah.
And like Jen was saying, at this point she is different. She's had the operation, and now she's transitioned. So, and she's comfortable in her own skin, and I just love the way she's so nonchalant about killing. Like, it means, like, just like brushing her hair, it's as easy as killing somebody. Like, it means nothing to her. Like, it reminds
What a
me kind
bad
of like
temper.
Patrick. Reminds me of Patrick Bateman in a way, like, so nonchalant about it, but it's like to the point of being hilarious at times,
Yeah.
But I love the whole aspect, gotta take out the bag campers, the fornicators and the evildoers, like like with the girl in the outhouse, you're a shitty camper. I love the end when they have when the dude who got his head chopped off, he's in the TV. Oh, look, you made it. But even though it is like pretty much for fun, and it's almost to the point of being like a horror comedy, there are a few beats where you kind of get a little bit of insight into her character a little bit. There is a couple moments there, and I enjoyed that. And yeah, I love the camper song. It's freaking hilarious.
Also,
Yeah,
the end credit song, "Too Desperate to Survive's a bop.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great song too. Yeah, you got Anvil in there, baby.
Even I like that one.
Well, yeah, Jen mentioned that one cheerleader camp, right?
Leif Garrett rapping.
That was one of your picks. So overall, what do you think about the nods to the the classic slashers there, you know, Freddy and Jason, Leatherface that she uses in the movie.
That was an interesting choice to do. You know, they don't actually say the characters' names because because they're copyrighted, but you know who they're referring to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the guy's wearing the fedora, the glove.
We're gonna give her a hell of a nightmare. I mean, it couldn't be any more.
She's got that mask on with the chainsaw. Pretty cool that they, you know, where you had Pamela Springsteen, who's the boss's daughter, and then you have Renee Estevez, who's, you know, the sister of Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Now I might lose some. I know Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, but I know my boy Heartman88 has something to say about it.
Yeah. This is an underrated film with still a lot of good charm to it. You know, they filmed part 2 and 3 back to back. So it's like at the same exact camp and stuff like that. But Pamela Springsteen is still a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of the kills are more off-screenish, I guess. You know, like the flagpole drop. But that was good.
Yeah.
You have the scene where Angela throws her mixtape into the tent and the dude.
Oh yeah, the
like,
one from the pole.
Yeah. You know, there's once again some hilarious stuff. Like they introduced the cop's son from the second movie, and it's this big thing. Like he was the one who arrested Angela in the first one. So they build this up, and when the final confrontation happens, she just shoots him, and it's over. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I still love it. To me, it still has that charm.
I like when the guy's like, "What's it gonna be? A knife? A gun?" She's just like, "A gun."
A gun.
But yeah, still a cool soundtrack as well. And I just dig it. I love part 3 as well.
There's some things. I'll concede there is some
hilarious,
things.
like when yeah. I love the part like at the beginning when she just runs over the chick with the truck. Like bam, she's just chasing her. and then she takes all her clothes and that's how she gets away with it and pretends to be that girl for the movie. It was almost like the girl in Friday 13th. What was her name? Annie, that was supposed to make it to the camp and be one of the counselors. So it's a little bit of a play on that. And I love when she gets on the bus and the bus moves. Angela is back. I love that. And you hear the so cool. There's a lot of funny stuff, like when the dude, she puts the firecracker in the dude's mouth, lights up, boom, his face, blows his face up. But yeah, in this one, it's a little bit different. She just like, you just irk her a little bit and you're done. Like, it's not like you have to be a bad camper and this, you piss her off. That's it. And it's kind of funny. I just think it's a lot of fun, super fun slasher, but I get it. It's probably not as good as part 2, but I still really enjoy it. I like seeing me some more Pamela Springsteen as Angela, so I could have used another one.
Yeah.
I would rather her come back in part 4 than what we got.
That would have.
What are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 3, Monty?
It was okay. For me, this is when I felt as though the series was starting to take a little dive because it's nice seeing Pamela Springsteen back. She's doing some more kills. The kills they lean a little bit more to the comedy side as opposed to serious side. Although some of the kills are still decent. Fortunately, too many have them off screen. Although I did like the firecracker one, that was funny. That was funny. But you know, it was okay. No, I was a little bit disappointed in this one, but that's when I felt as though, okay, this is enough of this series. It's starting to fall off the rails. There's only so much you can do with this character right now because you know, sooner or later she's going to have to be caught. But you know, like I said, it was okay.
Yeah.
But she survived at the end. You know,
Yep, she does.
they could have kept going with that. You know,
Mm.
it's not like she got killed. She didn't get killed.
No.
Yeah. So Jen, I know you're not a huge fan of this one. What are your thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 3: Teenage Wasteland?
See, you guys, you and Horror Fan 88, like hearing the passion in you guys' voices, it does fall down. I think it's not as good as the first two. I can't pretend I think it is, but there are some things about it that are kind of still cute, still charming. I like the running gag of everyone saying she looks way older than she's supposed to. I think that's a cute gag. I like the cocaine, you know, the whole cocaine thing. That's cute. There's a lot. It's a very mixed bag. I actually like what they do with the father, you know, the cop of the son from the second one and how he arrested her. I like how we do all that. I wish it would have been a little more, it was so anticlimactic of her just shooting him. I wish we would have gotten a little bit better of a showdown. Like, I have a lot of praises for this movie. It's just the few things it's knocking it down. And I appreciate, I think they got the humor right in the second one. This one went a little too much into the humor land, like maybe pulled it back just a bit. But it wasn't that kind of movie. They were just trying to have some fun and loose. So it's not my favorite of them, but it's better than what we're going to be going into. I'll take it over fucking Returns any fucking day. Jesus Christ, guys. That
Jesus
was
Christ.
If I may pose a question here, because I know it's probably not even worth talking about, but what about Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, the not even finished movie?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said,
Exactly. That's all we had to say about it. Like Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that.
It's cool. Like, no, it's not cool, but like, you know, it's just, you know, they just
so
were
not
trying to get people to come to it. So someone had the genius idea of, you know, whatever. The less said, the better, though, honestly. The less said, the better.
Yeah.
What's funny is they filmed those scenes in 1992 and didn't come out with this until what, 2000 something?
2008.
It's like, talk about cash grab, like 20 minutes of footage and intertwined with the, you know, just showing clips from the rest of the series. How talk about lazy.
But it's cool because it was the fans that they got shut down, and so the fans took it and kind of ran with it. That is one thing I will say about it that's cool, is the fans that did run with it and tried to make something out of very little. So my hat's off to them for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just made it as, like, you know, extra on the DVD or something, you know, like that, to make a movie out of. How about you, Monty? What do you think about Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor?
Oh boy.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, first of all, it doesn't have Pamela Springsteen, so that's one problem, and the rest of it is just, ooh, man, bad. I mean, it's just like, oh boy. What are you going to do? It's like, you know, it was. I mean, first of all, the company went bankrupt. That's one of the first problems, that the company went bankrupt, and then they still tried to piece together something so they can get it out. And then this is what you get. This is why you got this one right here. You know, but Just one of those bad events, and you get a bad horror movie out of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on, dude. You gotta at least see two. You gotta at least see 2 and 3.
Yeah. And if you're a glutton for
All right,
punishment,
we might as well get it. Might as well get it out of the way, Jen. Return to Sleepaway Camp from 2008.
The frogs, Sean! The frogs! God damn it! Oh. See, this one
What
really
happened?
hurt.
I mean, you had the original director, Robert Hiltzik, coming back. You know, you had Melissa Rose coming back.
You got big pussy in this one too.
You got Ricky, the actor that played Ricky,
Yeah.
coming back too, and even the counselor, one of the counselors, the nice one. I was so excited when I heard this because, just like you said, everybody's coming back. I thought, how the fuck can we? This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. Yes, I was so fucking pumped. And then we didn't hear anything, and then we didn't even hear more. And I'm like, my horror senses started tinkling, and I'm like, this doesn't bode well. But the little Chinese, the little optimistic, girl in my head was like, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. And then when the final thing just came out, I was just sitting there and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then that cinematic episode of weed, the CGI weed. Oh my fuck. I wanted to hit my TV. I wanted to throw things at the TV. I was like tearing up my Sleepaway Camp merchandise. I was like, you betrayed me, you fuckers. You fucking betrayed me. Oh, and those fun, and that kid, that's one of our big problems right there. The brilliant thing about the original Sleepaway Camp is Angela was sympathetic. This kid, and I try to have sympathetic for everybody. I always try to walk into other people's shoes, but even I was like, we need to kick this kid's ass. This little bastard you couldn't have sympathy for him. He was just fucking annoying. He got on my goddamn nerves, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. We should just beat the shit out of this kid. Me. Miss Tolerant. Oh my god, it was awful. It was bad. There's so many things, but weed. Oh, I hear that in my nightmares sometimes. Weed, no fucking way, man. No fucking way. Oh god, make it stop. Yeah. I don't like this movie. And then you have Felicia Rose coming back and were you all shocked? Did you all not get who the cop really was? Spoilers for anyone watching, but you shouldn't watch this one, guys. Oh my god, Angela's the cop. I would have never guessed. Fuck me. Damn it. I hate this movie, Sean. I hate this movie. I hate it. It hurt me.
No, really?
It hurt me, Sean. It hurt me. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even know that it came out till 4 years later. I'm like, there's a return to Sleepaway Camp?
It would have been better if there hadn't been.
Yes, there's a reason.
I hated that.
Did it come out in the theater? I don't.
No,
it never did.
No, they just dumped it as quietly as they could because they knew. They fucking knew.
They knew.
They knew. Well, they knew.
Heart Fanny, what's your thoughts on Return to Sleepaway Camp? Hang your head. Sorry.
I know Sean and I, we just recently did a Morbid Hour where we talked about our least favorite horror sequels, and god damn it, this piece of shit is in it because I hate this motherfucking garbage. Oh my god. Am I supposed to feel bad for this douchebag who, he gets picked on, meanwhile he fucks with everyone else? It's like, your ass stinks, and you're like, man, shut the fuck up. I know I own a lot of movies. Why I own this piece of shit, I don't know. I guess just because I'm a collector.
Simply a collector.
Mm-hmm.
Have I mentioned that I didn't like that movie very much?
But the frogs!
Just
The
so you can
frogs!
use the
The
tape
frogs!
and beat shit out of tape.
I'd rather watch Sleepaway Camp 4: The Survivor over that damn movie.
I know, right?
Same.
At least that's like laughably bad.
Yeah.
Laughably bad.
Were you shocked
This
that
isn't
Angela
it's
was
not
the top?
fun to watch this.
See,
No.
I think I've come to the perfect
What a waste of
conclusion
Felissa Rose.
on what Sleepaway Camp, Return to Sleepaway Camp is. It's a perfect drink coaster while you watch the original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put your drink on it and watch the original.
It might contaminate your drink, though. That's the only thing my problem is.
How about you, Monty? What were your thoughts on the Return to Sleepaway Camp?
Just what I suspected. when I first heard about this Return to Sleepaway Camp, what are they thinking? What's going on? And then when I read this is supposed to be a direct sequel to the original film and ignores all the sequels, I said, "Oh boy, here we go again." And then I sat down and watched it, and I said, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wow, Felicia Rose is back in this. Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, movie's over. That was dumb."
It didn't anger you, though, Monty. Like, you just didn't. I felt violated after seeing this film. I felt so fucking violated.
I mean, put it this way: I've seen worse films than this one, but this isn't this. I mean, put it this way: I just saw The Ritual. I just did my review of The Ritual. That was terrible. But this ranks up as another one of these terrible films. Don't know why it got made. Don't know how it got greenlit, and obviously these. I guess they were just doing it just to do it because you have to you make films to make films, and this is what you do. So if you make a terrible film, this is what you get.
Yeah.
You got somewhat valuable property, let's just knock something out quick,
Yeah.
No care whatsoever. Like,
I would rather watch the shit and leeches scene for an hour and a half than watch that movie again.
I know.
I just don't understand how you got the original director back, and doesn't he care enough about the series to make something halfway decent?
I don't know. Maybe he needed money. What did you think he'd put some care,
Maybe
like
he
you
needed
said?
money,
I
yeah.
don't fucking know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I really don't. And see, I thought Monty, I went a completely different direction because I was like, everyone's coming back. They can't fail. There's no fucking way they can fail. No.
Yeah. I've only
Yes, I did
ever
take trouble.
I've only ever been able to give that movie one positive, and that was that the bunk bed kill was pretty cool. Like,
that was cool. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one singular thing.
The only thing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, Night of the Creeps is a great watch. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Sean,
you have not
do you
seen
love
Night of the Creeps?
Return to-
Absolutely, highly recommended.
Sean, do you love Return
What?
to Sleepaway Camp? Do you love Return? Are you the one, are you the lone wolf?
Absolutely not.
Good.
It's
I'd have to quit this show if you
complete
were.
garbage. Nah, I wouldn't hurt your feelings that way, Jen.
Good. We can still be friends.
I have some sense. I have some pride, for God's sakes.
I mean, there might be one person out there who likes it, right? Everyone has, there's one movie that there's at least one person. I don't know who it would be. I haven't ever met him yet, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who's
imagine.
I could just imagine someone watching us going, "You guys are full of fucking bullshit. It's a fucking masterpiece."
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, Wait,
Fucking dumbasses don't know good films. Leave your comments if anyone feels that way.
Yeah, if there's anyone in the comments that loves this movie, I want to hear about it.
I do too. I'm fascinated.
What's your justification? How do you defend this movie?
Yeah.
I mean, we all have our hot takes like that, you know.
Mhm.
That's not a hot take,
But yeah, I
Sean.
can't
That's a
imagine.
cry for help. That's a cry for fucking help. I don't judge anyone's movies either, but this is one I definitely will raise my eyebrows.
God damn. I can't imagine who this movie is catering to. Not even the hardest core of Sleepaway Camp fan could possibly like this.
No.
No.
And Velvet's probably one of the biggest fans of Sleepaway Camp, right?
Yes,
what does
they
he
love
think
the
about it?
original.
Mhm.
They
What
love the
does,
original.
what does Velvet think about it?
They hate it. They heard me talk about it and they're like, "Oh, it can't be that bad." And then they just came back and they're like, "I'm so sorry, I doubted you." They thought I was when I did the review. They edited the review and they're like, "You're doing this to be, you know, entertaining and stuff." No. No, that was genuine. That was bad. It's a bad movie. It's just, again, no hate. If someone out there
Yeah.
really does love it, that's, I mean, more power to you. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I know one person who would absolutely love the movie.
oh,
Maybe.
I like that.
Do you guys think they'll ever make another one at this point?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, for as long as it's been, you would think they would have made a remake by now. But I think,
Yeah.
excuse me, I think after Return to Sleepaway Camp, I think filmmakers or horror filmmakers are too afraid to touch this film, probably because of today's climate, and I think they/them didn't do transgender in horror films any justice.
Yeah.
Even though the premise was interesting, the execution was terrible, and I don't think any horror filmmaker is not willing to try to touch that subject at this time right now. I'm pretty sure they will. I just don't know when.
I think there's a lot you could do with it if you had the right director in it. And actually, I would be interested in doing like a deep dive. And I think it'd be cool to bring both Felicia Rose and Pamela Springsteen and maybe focus on a troubled kid and like, you know, and really go into maybe this family's, you know, like the mental illness that's in this family. You could, there's some meaty stuff you could do if it was handled right. I think you could do some, and it would still pay respectful to the original, but maybe take it a little more serious, and let's dive into the actual psychological aspect of this. I think you could do some stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I just hope they don't try and do another requel.
Oh God.
Yeah, no more.
It would have to be a straight up remake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Well,
I just kind of
guess it would have to be a requel if they've had. Like I was saying earlier, it'd be tough to capture that charm that the original had. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think we could
They
have
may
the
touch on
sleaze
some
either.
aspects.
And I don't mean sleaze in a bad way. I
Yeah.
mean it in a good way. But like there was a sleaziness of that time that's kind of endearing, but maybe future generations might not appreciate it the way we did when we were brought up on it.
Mhm.
Old horror head, get off in my
There'll
lawn,
be
you
some
little
serious-
bastard.
There'd be some serious butt hurt people, I think.
Mm. Yeah.
Like you couldn't, some of the, it was pretty ballsy back then to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would get away with it today. All right, well, I think that about wraps it up, guys. Another awesome show. Really had a lot of fun. Yeah, good time.
Good times. Always
I
is.
love the topics. Perfect for the summer.
Mhm.
And yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Very cool.
And want to thank Horror Fan 88 for joining us today, our special guest. Great
Awesome
job
guest.
as always.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really fun
Thank
you.
working with them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I hope to be
we
on
got a
another
show
episode
coming
soon.
up. Yeah, I hope so too. But we got another episode of the Morbid Hour coming on later this month. We're gonna be giving our top 10 Hammer horror movies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And the top 5 Queensryche albums.
Yeah.
We gotta throw metal in there with the horror because we're on horror and metal's channel.
Yep.
But what do you got coming up on down the pike, Jen?
Actually, I'm going to be for this stream. I watched some that you guys should be turned on to. It came out this year, and people are not talking about it. It is called Marshmallow, and I'd be very interested to hear you guys' thoughts on it because it does do something very interesting. It subverts our expectations. We're set at a classic summer camp slasher for about half of the movie, and then we veer in a very different direction. I'm still letting it set with me. I don't know how well it works, but it's interesting, and you guys all love summer camp slashers, so definitely check out Marshmallow. You won't be sorry, even if you don't end up liking it. You can respect it. It goes into some interesting places, and nobody's talking about it. So that review should be coming out on the channel here pretty soon. And also my Summer of the Mob, taking a break from horror. Tomorrow my Summer of the Mob continues, and I'm going to be talking about A Bronx Tale with Joey Nomad and the Soulless Trenchcoat.
Nice.
Ooh, good movie. How about you, Monty G? What do you got going on your channel?
All right. Obviously, my reviews of Jurassic Park Rebirth is up. My latest episode for Women of Horror with Celeste of Sweet and Spooky, that is up on the channel. I should have my review of The Ritual starring Al Pacino. That should be coming up on the channel tomorrow. And of course, Kelly and I bought our tickets for Look Up, It's Superman.
Yeah.
Monty, quick question. Is it
Hell
worth seeing? I hear it's so bad. Is it even worth checking out? Or is it not even don't bother for The Ritual?
The Ritual?
Yeah.
The Ritual.
Yeah. Is it worth it?
That's the best I can say.
Is it going to be on a certain list at the end of the year?
It's possible.
I see it was like 5%
on
Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like this. If you're going to do possession, exorcist, horror films, you want to at least make your characters interesting. I mean, that's what make The Exorcist work. That's what make the Exorcism of Emily Rose work. Actually, that's what make the Pope Exorcist work. You can count on your hand the number of successful possession exorcist horror films because they all try to do the same goddamn thing and they all fail at it. because they don't make the characters interesting. If you don't have interesting characters, then all the spooky shit is not going to work. No matter how great the practical effects are, or how great the spider walks are, or how creepy the demonic voices sounds, if the characters aren't interesting, you're just like, wow, I just saw that already. It's like, and that's the problem with the Ritual.
Okay. Al Pacino can't save it, or Dan Stevens. That's a bad sign.
Unfortunately, neither. As good as they try to be in this particular film, they just don't save it because it's just the same thing that we've seen before.
Gotcha.
I mean, you need more. Unfortunately, you need more than a great cast to make a great horror movie. Obviously, look at Exorcist too.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, like all-star cast. It didn't mean anything. All right, guys. I'll wrap it up, and thank you everyone that joined us in the chat tonight. Thank you, DJ Plays Favorites. We had Rob Nightmares. We had Strange Monkey in the House and Horror and Metal. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. And thank you for joining us for the Horror Hangout live stream. And we'll see you next month. All right, everybody. Have a great night.
Peace.
We'll see you soon.
Stay
Peace
safe
out.
out there.
Penis. Summer penis.
Don't Velvet, we say hi.
Well, I will.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Bye, Monty.